Hello, students. How are you? I hope you all are well. Today, I will take your English class, especially on English textbook. You please get ready with your copies and pen. Today, I will take uh, a class on the selfish giant. So, students, you often see at night, your grandparents or grandfather or mother often tells you stories. So this story is such type of story. Here, Shima's grandfather was telling the story of the selfish giant in the family gathering. That means Shima's grandfather in a family gathering is telling, or family meeting is telling a story. So the story is on the selfish giant. So everyone likes to hear or listen stories from their grandparents. So grandma refused to go to bed. Uh, she refused to go to bed because she also wanted to listen the or hear the story. She forgot her back pain. Now, when any person enjoys, she forgets about his or her pangs and pains. So the grandfather starts the story with, it was a lush, lovely garden with soft green grass. So the atmosphere of that story is, the background of the place of the story was very lovely garden with soft, delicate grass. Here and there, over the grass, stood beautiful flowers. So, as it was a garden, so there were a lot of beautiful flowers are blooming. Also, there are fruit trees around the garden. So, a garden contains beautiful uh, flowers, flower trees, and beautiful fruit trees. One day, the giant came back. So, the giant was not available. Giant means a man or a human of a superhuman. Okay, not human, a superhuman figure, very large figure. So not a common type of man, very large figure. Here, giant. Okay, so he is a superhuman figure. He went to see his friend in a distant land and he stayed with them for 7 years. So he was absent from that place for 7 years because he went to pay a visit to his distant friend. When he arrived, he saw children playing in his garden. So when he reached the garden, he saw children playing in his garden. "What are you doing here?" cried the giant in a very gruff voice. So gruff voice was very rough, harsh voice. So he cried out that, "What are you doing here?" That means what the children were doing in his garden because it is his property. The children ran away. So hearing his harsh voice, the children ran away. That means flew away from that place, from that garden. Every afternoon, the children came back from school and used to go and play in the giant's garden. After that, each and every afternoon, the children came back from school and used to go and play in the giant's garden. So they used to come in his garden and play in his garden. My own garden is my own garden, said the giant. So the giant is telling to himself that it is his garden and he, he owns that property. So why the children are coming in his garden? So he is saying to himself that my own garden is my own garden. So nobody is allowed to come to his garden. He's saying to himself that as it is his personal property, so why the children are coming? Anyone can understand that. So he is telling to himself that everybody, each and every person can understand that uh, in his property, why others are coming, and I will allow nobody else to play in it. So he is deliberately saying that he will not allow anybody to his garden to play, in his garden to play in it. So he built a high wall around the garden. So he made a wall all around the garden so that nobody can enter in his garden, and put up a notice. So on that wall, he hung a notice. In in that notice, he wrote, trespassers will be punished. So, trespassers, that means intruders, or uh, trespassers means uh, the person is entering in anybody's property or land without permission. So here, without his permission, nobody is allowed to enter or come in his garden, and any trespasser will be punished for his wrongdoing or for his coming to his garden without his permission. So, dear students, what you have got that this is the property of the selfish giant. So, as he allows nobody to enter in his garden, so this giant is selfish. Why he is selfish? Because he always thinks about his own interest. He never thinks about others' interest. I hope you have got it and you have understood the text, and uh, you have to go through the text again and again to understand questions, MCQs. Okay, so please go through the text properly. Inshallah, in my next class, I will take the selfish giant too. Okay, please uh, wait for that and go through the text again and again. And please, when you will go out, you please wear mask. And after returning home, you please wash your hands or use hand sanitizer and wash your hands again and again with soap. Okay. Till then, Allah Hafiz.